everybody. How is everybody doing? I hope all is well. All is well with me, and I hope all is well with you. Happy, happy Saturday. I just decided to hop on the live and hit the button. Hadn't planned it, but decided to hop on. Hey, Tamika, how you doing? Thank you for coming, Tamika. I just decided to, I've been in a few lives tonight and this evening and decided to just hop on and do a live. And I hope everybody had a very nice Thanksgiving. If you celebrate the holiday, I hope you had a fantastic day. I had a great day. Um, Hey Jamie, how are you doing? Thank you for 12 months of membership. I appreciate your loyalty. Thank you so much. So, I just came in to speak to everybody. I hope everybody's doing well. Hi, Joshua, Happy Mac, Daniel Berry, Tamika Davis, everybody, all of you beautiful people. I'm going to talk a little bit about what happens on holidays with some family members. Now, my family and I did not have a big gathering on Thursday, but Tyler had a Friendsgiving day on Tuesday. So that turned out well. He had his some of his class members and they came over. They brought different delicious dishes and they celebrated before Thanksgiving. So that was really, really nice. As for me, I didn't do a lot of cooking. It worked out well. I did the dressing, I did some potato salad, and my daughter did the pie, the sweet potato pies, and mac and cheese, collard greens, and turnips mixed with smoked turkey, in which they were very, very good. She made the homemade gravy for the dressing, and we had roasted turkey from Honey Baked Ham. So that all turned out well. And I shared some food with my son and others. So that was really nice. I didn't help my friend this year who did the Thanksgiving dinner because I didn't know she was doing it until the last minute. So I didn't have time actually to do it, but that's okay. So I do know family members and friends that gathered, on Thanksgiving Day. And y'all, we must learn how to come together and get along. I know some family members and some friends that had a wonderful Thanksgiving dinner, very peaceful, very just full of laughter. They were telling me what a great time they had. And I know some families and some friends that it started out well and then it turned out to be a disaster. And we have to learn how to take the high road sometime and not let things escalate into what could have been a nice gathering or gatherings, because I've heard of more than one family that didn't have such a great holiday. So we have to learn how to get along. As Rodney King from California said many years ago, can we just get along? And we must learn how to do that. We should be able to come together and enjoy each other, enjoy the moments, not just wait until there is a funeral or when somebody is no longer with us and we all come together on that day. We need to know how to come together for family reunions, for whatever gathering, just a gathering because you love each other or whatever. We need to know how to get along with each other because it makes no sense. There used to be a time I remember growing up and being with family, being with friends on certain days, on certain holidays, when we are celebrated large on certain days, and people got along. People may have been drinking a little bit, but it was never just so bad that you had to shut it down because people were doing things that they shouldn't have been doing. And it's ridiculous when you cannot get together as a family or as a group of friends and and get along. Hello, Mary. Thank you for coming in. Daniel Berry, Happy Mac. Thank you all for coming. VOM, welcome in. Welcome in. Keisha H, so happy to see each and every one of you. Spirit in the Sky Blue, welcome in. Thank you guys for coming through. Angie, thank you all. Thank you all. So, and it happens all too often now that families don't seem to know how to love each other. We can't get along. We can't live in the same household because I have some family members that I know I could not live with, some adults. I couldn't live with them. And it shouldn't be like that. It should be that if we need to live together as a family, it will help each other because you can offset the cost of expenses and all of that, and you could have money, you can save money. And I know some families in my growing up years, I have known a few families that lived together as adults and got along very well. Whatever differences they may have had, it stayed in the home. It was not all outside, the home. But these days, family members would get out in the streets, want to fight you in the yard, inside the house, and it's just really disheartening. So we can get back to that, that we can live together and get along and all of that. Either you will have some family members that will want to pay their way. You will have some who don't want to work. They don't want to pay their way. They don't want to shoulder their end of responsibilities. Some will not clean up, some will clean. You have all these different things going on in families now, and it should not be. It shouldn't be. You take responsibility for what you need to do and get along and live together. I don't know why some races can live together and seem to get along, but some races cannot. And I just don't understand. If everybody would do what's right, try to do the right thing, try to shoulder your end of the bargain, get along, take responsibilities for everything, and share everything, we would have so much more. With the cost of living going up and up and up like it is doing, we might need to learn how to pool our resources and get along with each other because it can be done. Hey, Ruthie, Design with Emma, thank you so much. Just on here chit chatting about us getting along and living together. Big Rooster, how are you doing? Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you all. We can do it. We can do it. But one thing I know about some of us, we don't know how to close our mouths. We don't know when to shut up and take a back seat. Everybody wants to be right. Everybody wants to speak at the same time. And you just have a one big mess. One big mess. I hope I haven't missed speaking to anyone. If I have, I won't say it's race, maybe more so culture. Yes, Keisha, it's not just all race. I'm sure of that. Yeah, but I do know people in my culture that lived together back in the day. I knew this. One family in particular comes to my mind in my home state. It was the mother and two adult daughters that lived together, and they lived next door to the schoolhouse. And both daughters taught me in school. One was a first grade teacher, and one was a sixth grade teacher. And one of them's husband had passed on, and she was raising two sons. One of her sons is was in my class, and they lived together in that big house, and they must have gotten along. And then the other daughter had a husband who lived in another state, and the nephews would go and spend summers with him in another state on the West Coast. And those people, whatever differences they had, nobody on the outside knew what was going on. And we were in the same culture, and everybody, they stood out because um, everybody knew it was mother and two adult daughters, and they stayed together for years and years and years. Yes, they did. And the daughter that had the husband that lived on the West Coast, she would spend her summers on the West Coast with her husband. And as I said, when the boys got older, they went to live out there with their uncle, and he finished raising them. And when they became adults, they came back to our state. They had gone to school on the West Coast and just had lived there for years. So, yes, but that is a family that, as far as we could see from the outside, got along. You never heard a peep from those people. And we can do it. It can be done. We just have to work. Some of us may have to work harder at getting along than others, because I do know some of these family members are not easy to get along with. I know that. And everybody's not going to be the same. Everybody's not going to want the same successes in life or want to um, accomplish certain things in life. Everybody's not going to want to save money for a rainy day or what have you. So it's I don't know if we will ever get back to that lifestyle or not, because as I said, I have family members that I know I would not live with, because I already know they don't want to do the right things, so they don't like paying their way, and there's no way that I could live with them now. I have two daughters, grandsons, son-in-law that I could live with. I could live with them, and it wouldn't be a problem. Not at all. Because I know what I would need to do. I would not try to be a leash to just live in their homes and not shoulder my end of the bargain or the responsibility. And I could live with them. I have spent many nights in both homes. We all get along, no problem. Now, of course, you might have disagreements, and teeth and tongue may fall out sometime. We know this. But it doesn't have to be a nasty type ending, where people want to fight or take each other out unalive and all these kinds of things. It doesn't have to be like that. And somebody was saying, whatever happened to if you had a disagreement, you might have fought a little bit, but that's as far as it went. It was not this, that, and the third. Okay, Keisha said, Joshua says it's going to change better life, changing, he said, ahead of time. And Keisha said, I look at the cultural differences between my Black American families compared to my husband's Black African family. The ability to choose will make a difference in what you accept or don't. Yes, yes. I worked in a college town one time, and it was very diverse. And we had students and instructors at the university from everywhere. I'm talking about international students. Hi, Bud, welcome in. We had students from we had students from Africa. We had students from the islands, students from the Middle East, Asian students, Black American students, Caucasian students. We had students from many places in the islands, from Trinidad, Dominican, just Jamaicans, all kinds of groups of people. And I saw a lot of people from other cultures living together and seemingly getting along. And, that's just the way it was. And this has been many years ago, but I saw them living in one apartment, just a host of them living in one apartment. And nobody never said they had issues or whatever. I used to party with some of the African students and the students from the islands. And it was the best time, just good times, good food, good laughter, and all of that. And I enjoyed that. Yes. Never a disturbance, never anybody getting out of hand with any alcohol or anything like that. It was just good times. Good times. And VOM says, Keisha, for first, Keisha says, hey there, dear Sue. Oh, hi, Sue and Bud. VOM said, right. I don't think culture should matter how you treat people, but then again, it's how you, right, it is how you're raised. I still feel it's the individual to know the difference, if y'all know what I mean. Yes, it shouldn't be a cultural thing. And one thing many of us do need to know and learn is how to get along with others. Never give up the fight, Joshua says. And Angie says, yes, I get you. VOM. Hi, Frank G. Welcome in. How are you doing? And Joshua said many African Americans had domestic violence and how to respect relationships. Well, I'm saying I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. My mom and siblings always had great times. We enjoyed. Yes, yes. And Joshua says Frank is speaking to Tamika and Joshua. And Joshua said, me too. I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, long time ago, and I moved on. And Keisha speaking to Frank. Frank is good. Frank is speaking to Keisha. I was raised in my early life and born in the great state of Louisiana. And I can remember growing up, my family. My dad had only one sister by my grandmother, his mother, but he had a couple of other siblings, some more siblings on his daddy's side. But I can remember my dad's mom had a lot of siblings, sisters, and brothers. And I remember growing up as a child, everybody getting along, having good times together. And I don't remember maybe one or two may have fussed about something at some point in time, but it was never that they wanted to do something really, really bad to another. And good times, we had good food, good times together. I remember we used to go to a place outside of my hometown. It was a little beach where many of the Black Americans would go, and they would have ball games, swimming pools, and all this kinds of stuff, things. And we all pretty much got along. We did. We really did. Sis Lynn, how are you? Welcome in. Happy to see you. So it can be done. It can be done. We might have to work at it more. Peaches and Queen, how are you doing? Welcome in. Welcome in, everybody. You're welcome here. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for the 1,400 in the building. I appreciate you so much. It's just happy holidays to you, Peaches and Queen. I'm just talking about things that go on in families and on the around holidays, and it should be we should get along every day, any day. And I always say every day is a day of Thanksgiving. And I do mean that. I'm thankful for every day that I can get up, that I can speak, that I can move around on my own. I am thankful for health and strength, thankful that I have food, clothing, and shelter. And I pray for those who may not have food, clothing, and shelter. I welcome in, I am Gwen Michelle. This is her backup channel. This is the OK Lounge with Gwen Michelle, and she has a backup channel. I am Gwen Michelle. So if you're interested, you might check her out. Let's see here. Okay. Okay, Gwen Michelle. I am Gwen Michelle. That's her backup channel that she's growing over there. And many of you may know her as OK Lounge with Gwen Michelle. But thank you all for coming in. Just talking a little bit about these families and how we act, and we need to check ourselves. We need to know how to get along. And Frank says too much jealous in families these days. It is that jealous spirit that be lurking around families and friends. And we just gotta stop, because we can all get along. It's no such thing that we can't get along. We can get along. If we have to work a little bit harder, if people would just do the right thing or try to do what's right. We're not going to be perfect. We all know that. But if people would just try to do what's right, be more loving, more kind, more giving, we can all get along. And VOM says, unfortunately, that's exactly what it is, jealous people for no reason. Right. It's no reason to be jealous of anybody for any reason. And I say this, whatever is for me, and no devil in hell can take it away. What's mine is mine. What's yours is yours. We don't have to be jealous of anybody. We can all get along. We can get together and support each other and stop being like crabs in a barrel. We don't have to be that way. We can all, it's enough love to go around for all of us. So we don't have to be jealous, because we all are uniquely and wonderfully made by God. So we don't have to be jealous. God has gifted all of us with some talent, some gift. Maybe somebody may be a speaker, somebody may be a writer, somebody may be a great disc jockey, somebody may be a crafter, a designer. There are a gardener, a cook, A person may run a cleaning service. God has gifted every one of us. We all have talents. If we don't know our gifts, if we don't know our talents, we have to search deep down inside and ask God to show us what he would have us do. There are a lot, some people are historians, some people are archivists, librarians, educators, lawyers, doctors, evangelists. We all have been put on this earth with a purpose. We need to know our place. We need to find our place, know our place, and get in our place, because we all have places. God has gifted us with various gifts, and we all have places. And Angie said most people and families grow with age through living life first before they get to a stage of understanding of God and kindness. Yes, it's all about kindness. It's about kindness. And hey, Ruthie, how are you doing? And being mindful how we treat people. That little thing, kindness. And we talked about kindness on the channel a long time ago. To be kind is everything. It doesn't cost anything for us to be kind and respectful. There is a scripture that came to my mind, and I shared it. I don't know when I shared it, but it's been, and I think it's Matthew 16 and 10. And we're talking about um, being shrewd as serpents and harmless as doves. And it is true. We need to be harmless. And it's Matthew 10 and 16. And I didn't get any thumbs up much on it, but anyway, it says, what I said here is, Jesus instructed his disciples to be wise or shrewd as serpents and gentle or harmless as doves when spreading the gospel. He sent them out as sheep in the midst of wolves. So again, even he instructed his disciples to be gentle, to be wise, so we can take this word and these scriptures, and we can apply it to our own lives. Yes, we can be stern, and we can tell the truth, we can be firm about it, but we can be gentle at the same time. And I think, I try to apply everything to what God's word says about it. So to put together with what I've said about families coming together, and as I said, I have heard of at least 3 families that came together in different places, and stuff happened. It was not pleasant. Somebody's fussing about this, somebody's arguing about this, somebody wants to fight about this. It happens a lot of times when we gather, and it shouldn't be. It just should not be. And Joshua said we must respect everybody, who be respectful each other. No one is perfect. Just God is perfect. That's right, Joshua. Only God is perfect. And Angie says, but first, do not harm me. Do not malice to self or others. And Joshua saying to be mindful what we saying, period, God says. I always be loved, and everybody loves all my work to be doing great and honesty. This is what Joshua is saying. Yes, we have to be respectful. We have to be kind. Welcome in Natasha Kemp. Thank you for coming. But I was thinking about this after I have heard different things about people over this holiday. I mean, it has gotten to the point you can't gather in peace and harmony and love and respect, to just sit around and share laughter and eat good food. That should be any day, not just a day that's been deemed a certain holiday. It should be anytime we come together, we must be able to get along. And that is what I was thinking about after I have been hearing since Thursday things that have been going on, things that went on during the gatherings. Now, as I said, my grandson had Friendsgiving at their home and everything was cool. The young people came in, they were respectful, they had fun, a lot of laughter, a lot of game playing and food and whatever, dance and whatever. And it was just clean, good, clean fun. And they enjoyed themselves. I enjoyed watching them. And then I left and went home. So let's just try to search deep within ourselves. And if we have a problem in that area, let's let's try and get that corrected and just try to get along with each other and try to take the high road. We don't always have to address everything. We must choose our battles wisely. Everything does not have to be addressed, though you may be right, but everything doesn't have to be addressed negatively. And when you know something is going left, because some people you can't talk to, you can't say anything to, and when you know the conversation is going left, it is best to back away, just not say anything. And Frank said, and sadly, it is our people that are against each other. That's true. That's the truth. That is so true, Frank. And Joshua says he always loves everybody. And yes, okay. Family fun has got a real bad, Frank says. No crap food, Joshua says. No crap food like fast food, just eat good healthy food. Yes. So that is all I wanted to say. I was not sure that I was going live. I hadn't planned to, but y'all know how I do it. Y'all know I pop up if something comes to mind or something is happening at the time. I may just pop up at any time and just say what I gotta say and get off. And tomorrow, Big Rooster is having his gospel hour on TikTok. And I think he's going to start it at 8:30 a.m. Central Time. And Big Rooster, correct me if I'm wrong, at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time if you're still here. So if you all like gospel music, good gospel, you may want to tap into Big Rooster Show on TikTok. This Thanksgiving holiday, I chose to stay at home with just my husband and children. Big Rooster, drop the link, please. Mindfully, it was absolutely best for me this holiday. It hurt, but a lot less if I had went visiting. Yes, I didn't really get out either, Keisha H. I stayed at home and I ran around the corner to my daughter's house to take her pan of dressing and the other daughter picked up her dressing, and then that daughter delivered food to my son and others. So yes, I basically stayed home and just did what I had to do. Got up, showered, and did all the personal things. Got in the kitchen, did the thank you, Big Rooster, and did the dressing and whatever. And it was much easier because no one person cooked all of the food. So it made it a lot easier. And it's better. It was better. It was a peaceful. I got a lot of calls. I got a lot of texts. People just tapping in, friends and family. Wanting to know how are you doing, and are you going out anywhere, whatever. So it was a peaceful day at home. These days, come around now, they're not the same as they were many years ago, because when we think about, we no longer have certain family members with us to enjoy and to have reunions with, and come together with laughter and all of that. It's They don't hit the same. It's a big difference. So I'm good. If I had only had a sandwich and some tea or some water, I would have been fine with that, because any day that I want to bake a turkey or have dressing, I don't have to wait for a certain day. And many people are like that these days. People eat whatever they want to eat when they want to eat it. So, yes, it's just another day of Thanksgiving. And Big Rooster, if you're still in here, there is another song that I'm requesting that you play at some point in time on the Gospel Hour. And it's a song that I have loved for many years. And the title is Every Day is a Day of Thanksgiving. I love that song. And it says, every day is a day of Thanksgiving. God's been so good to me. Every day he's blessing me. I like that song, and I pulled it up. Let me see. It was a certain choir. Let's see if I can find it in my. Yes, here it is right here. Every day is a day of Thanksgiving, and Dr. Charles G. Hayes and the Cosmopolitan Choir, I guess. And if you can play that one tomorrow, or if not tomorrow, next Sunday, whenever you can find it, every day is a day of Thanksgiving. I love that. I love that song. And I've been playing it on my iPad. I play it all the time because I love it. I love that one and the other one that I mentioned to you, God Did It. So those are my requests. And it doesn't have, I know you probably have the one, God Did It, but the one, Every Day is a Day of Thanksgiving, you may have to look that one up. But the choir that I pulled up, I'm sure there are some other people singing it, but this one is Dr. Charles G. Hayes. Got it. Okay. Thank you, Big Rooster. And I will be at the Gospel Hour in the morning. I'm going to set my alarm so I can be sure and not oversleep, because I love the Gospel Hour. So, guys, thank you all for coming in just for a little while. Thank you, Angie, and thank you, members. Angie VOM, T. Racy Positive Corner, Gwen Michelle, and let's see, Ruthie's This and That VOM. Thank you all. Thanks to all of you, all of my supporters, like Tamika Davis is an outstanding supporter. Everybody here, Big Rooster, Keisha H., Joshua Gabriel, Grandma Lynn, everybody that I see here. I appreciate Peaches and Queen. I appreciate each and every one of you. Frank G. Life, and I hope I have not missed anyone. All of you. Bud Files and Sue, Design with Emma, Big Rooster, Spirit in the Sky Blue, thank you all for coming through. All of you have supported me for a long time. Happy Mac, and I really, really appreciate you all. So I am going to get off. I'm not going to prolong the time any longer. I'm just trying to go back through to make sure. Official Jamia, who is a member, thank you for your support. And let's see here. I think I have named everyone. Daniel Berry Sports Highlight. Thank you so much. Sports Highlights. Daniel Berry. Thank you as well. Maring, thank you so much. I'm going back down through the chat because truly I don't want to miss anyone. And I think I have named everybody. Thank you all for stopping by. Have a great evening. And I will talk to you guys on the next video. OK Lounge with Gwen Michelle. Natasha Kemp, thank you so much for stopping by as well. And I think I have called out everyone. And Keisha H says, thank you so much, Miss Patty. I appreciate you. Such a blessing to have come across your positive spirit. Thank you so much, Keisha. And I love what you're doing in the garden. And many of you, I am on TikTok looking at your videos, Instagram, and all of that. So thank you all for your love and support. And I will talk to you on the next video. I will see many of you in the YouTube streets. And Big Rooster, I will see you tomorrow at your gospel hour. So take care. Much love to you all. And I will talk to you guys soon. Good night, Tamika Davis and everyone. Peace and blessings, everyone. Keisha H. Good night, Big Rooster.